choice this morning. You have a choice today. You could go on acting just as you have, or maybe could find a new way. What if there were no limitations on what you could think, act, or do? Would you be content just to putter along, or would you attempt something new? I submit then for you to consider that you have vast untapped reserves, and you and the world would both benefit greatly and certainly be better served if you could but throw off the limits you've made. Let your mind and your dreaming range free. I believe that is true. Yes, I'm speaking to you. You could live new possibilities. I can take a dream, any little dream, and imagine that it could really be. I can decorate it any way I'd like to see it done. The only one that has to please is me. Whether it's to change the world or just to change my mind, just to dream the dream would set me free. My world will be a better place. You'll see it by my smiling face. I'll be living in possibility. If God has the power and shares it with you, it's almost unlimited what you can do. An open heart will let ideas and love flow in. Possibilities will begin. I can take a dream, any little dream, and imagine it could really be. I can decorate it any way I'd like to see it done. The only one that has to please is me. Whether it's to change the world or just to change my mind, just to dream the dream will set me free. My world will be a better place. You'll see it by my smiling face. I'll be living in possibility. I'll be living in possibility.
It is so great to see you, Michael. You are living in possibility. I've known that about you for some time. And you made us ponder, what if there were no limitations? I thank you for that so much. Welcome. My name is Dana Zahler. It's my honor and privilege to be here to see you all. And for those who are joining us on live stream, we know we are all one in spirit. So let's just begin with our opening affirmation that we can say together. Oh, we got a new one. Oh, welcome newcomers. Here we are. Let's say this together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, the foundational statement of unity. So Robert is going to read the daily word for us today. And yeah, it's not about you, it's about the dog.
I'm Robert, and good morning. Sunday, August 24th. Gratitude is my heart's song. Gratitude is my heart's natural response when I think of the best life has to offer. But sometimes when I compare my circumstances with someone else's, or when I am distracted by negative thoughts or challenging situations, my closed heart may feel resentment rather than gratitude. I let the first twinge of resentment remind me to return to gratitude. I pause, breathe, and remember the truth of my being. Knowing I am a unique expression of God, I open my heart and realize again the divine presence that is always with me. I mindfully reconnect with the indwelling life, love, wisdom, understanding, and strength that has helped me grow through even the most challenging experiences of my life. My heart sings with gratitude. And from Psalm 86:12, I give thanks to you, O Lord my God, with my whole heart. Amen.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. So we are going to stand and greet our neighbors. Oh, song first. This is a community sing, right?
It's up to you.
The slides are in the wrong order.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, let's do this.
We're honoring the order of the
I
universe.
got a guitar, we got some music, let's do this song.
There's a reason it's in that order. Let's all stand.
You are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Everybody, you are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place, such a holy place. You are blessed peace is what you are. You are blessed peace, God, blessed peace is all that you are. You are deepest joy is what you are. You are deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place, such a holy place. You are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
Okay, remain standing. We're going to go around and say hello to your friends, neighbors, a handshake, a hug, a high five, a Spock sign.
Yeah, you too.
So as we return to our seats, hint, hint. Okay, so we are starting a two-part series here on manifestation. So the talk title today is Before You Manifest, ... So welcome, Jeff.
And before we manifest, we'll do some meditation. So if everybody will just feel yourself in your seat, just get comfy. If you don't know what to do with your hands, just allow them to just lay on your lap. And this is our time that we come as a collective and just kind of center ourselves for this time. There are many things that we come to this center with in life, and some of us are coming with celebrations, some of us are coming with trials, some of us are coming with relationships in need of healing. Maybe it's a busy day full of plans or what have you. But we're just going to ask that we all come centering into this space for this moment, allowing all those things to just pause. So as you sit in the silence, those things that are seeking your attention, just let them go for now. And let's just be present in this space. God, divine presence, omnipotent being, loving Father, sacred Son, all that you are, we give thanks today for the privilege and the honor to gather together in the space that we call Unity Center of North Spokane. We recognize that everything you are, we have. Let us want for nothing. Let us take this time and put aside whatever beliefs or preconceptions we have about manifestation and just put that on pause. Open us up. Allow us to just let go of those things that are trying to occupy our minds and our thoughts. I'm thankful for every family that's represented here. Seeing each other in this space. We thank you. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. I don't know about you, but I've had an epic week, and I didn't manifest that. I don't know if some of you might have saw on social media. I had a really good Thursday going, and had just had a wonderful experience with Dana, which we'll share on another time. But if you've been to her Facebook page, you know what she was able to do. And then with Dignified Workday, we ended up having the mayor of Spokane there and giving her a tour of what we're doing and having an opportunity to talk with her about some of the challenges. And I was on my way to State Line to get gas, and I was rear-ended by a lady with 2 children, and everybody was okay, but I think her car didn't fare quite as well as my truck did, but I was a little sore on Friday, and then Friday and yesterday, I just kind of tried to take it easy and lay low and not do anything that would. But I have to tell you, that moment of impact. Wow, I do not recall ever being so disoriented. I've had 2 concussions in my life, both from hockey. And I don't ever recall being so disoriented, just sitting there and trying to figure out what happened. And my watch, the movement in my watch went off and calls my sister, and I'm looking at my phone, and my sister's calling me, and I'm like, well, why is she calling me? I can't talk to her right now, So I hit end, and then the next thing you know, 911's on. I'm like, how are these people knowing to call me at this time? And then I recognized that my watch had actually set the motion off in my watch and caused all that, set all that in motion. So anyways, it was an interesting Thursday, and but it wasn't anything that I manifest. It was just something of me living in this place, right? And Michael, I want to thank you for your music this morning. And that song, Sacred Love, is so reminded today of us living in a state of grace, right? Like living in a state of grace, living in a place where we are projecting and emitting grace and allowing that to manifest itself in here. And I'm just so grateful for that. So today, before we manifest, I want to talk a little bit about we're going to go into manifestation, but before that, I felt it would be important to actually take a look at about what manifesting is and what it isn't. It's not about asking for what you want. Instead, it's about asking what aligns with our values, our beliefs, and our emotions, and our nature, essentially our authentic self. If you're asking and not getting what you want, it might be because what you're asking for isn't in harmony with who you are. Do you really know what you want and why you want it? And what we want and how we get it are based on our values. So we're going to talk about values today, and then we'll have a follow-up next week with it as well, and then the following week, the third week, the first week in September, we'll wrap up manifestation. So manifestation in its simplest terms means bringing something into form or making it visible. For example, a rash can be a manifestation of an illness, or an artwork can be a manifestation of an idea. The manifestation simply is bringing something into form. From a psychological and a self-help context, in personal growth circles, manifestation often refers to the process of clarifying your desires, aligning your thoughts and emotions, and then seeing them show up in your life. And so this was probably my father's and I biggest butting heads when I was growing up, and actually into my adulthood, because my dad wanted me to pursue one thing in life, which was materialism and financial success, and it didn't align. We butted heads all the time, and at the time I really didn't know why we butted heads. I just knew we were butting heads, and I would have to tell him, Dad, that's not what I'm about. But it wasn't until I got later in life where I realized what I was about and how I defined that. but we just had completely different values, and in those values, we were not in alignment. So it caused a great deal of friction. In the psychological and self-help context, manifestation is less magic and more about focus, mindset, and consistent action. If you believe something is possible and keep orienting yourself toward it, you tend to notice opportunities and act in ways that are likely to make it happen. When I was a hockey official, I've shared in the past that when I was an official, I would sit before the game and I would think about the flow of the game and think about what my calls are going to look like. And the idea was I was trying to remind myself what that looks like, so when it happened, it became very easy to recognize. And the other part of that is like manifesting what I was wanting and in the game in terms of how I was going to perform and that sort of thing. From a spiritual metaphysical context, many spiritual traditions, including New Thought, describe manifestation as co-creating with the divine universe. That thought is creative, that what we think is creative. Energy flows where attention goes. And by holding a vision with faith and gratitude, we call forth experiences into being. Now, I was talking with a friend this morning, and she was telling me about a situation she had where the day before, someone from her past was on her mind. And so she's like, I need to reach out to that person. So she got on Google and she searched and find out where that person is and said, okay, I'm going to give that person a call next week. Someone she hadn't seen in years. Only to the following day, she's coming out of a doctor's appointment and is inadvertently holding the door for this person. How does that happen? How does that happen? Manifestation in this area is about our alignment with our inner thoughts and world, our beliefs, values, and imagination. It's in harmony with our higher spiritual truth and other circumstances that we begin to mirror. So with that, I would like you guys to say, I'm going to say it and I'll ask you, this affirmation as a whole, okay? I am a co-creator with Spirit as I align my thoughts, feelings, and actions with divine truth. The good I desire manifests with ease and grace. And the key distinction between the psychological and the spiritual is that in the spiritual, we are not willing something by sheer effort. We're not trying to force something to happen. It's more about an alignment in the way that we believe and our flow. So today we are going to focus on basically three things here: the lack of clarity, the attachment to outcome, and their values misalignment. And then in the following week, we'll look at the other. Lack of clarity, attachment to outcome, and values misalignment. I share the conversation I had with a friend of mine a few years ago when he was going through a very, very difficult time. And he was just really struggling through some depression and things. And he said, I would remember as if it was yesterday, I was sitting in the parking lot at Orchard Supply and Hardware in Fresno in my truck, and I was just listening to what he was saying and just really being a friend. And he said to me with a great conviction, is like, Jeff, I'm just trying to keep my hopes in Christ and not in outcomes. And I thought what he said was so profound, because rather than praying for something to happen and expecting this was going to happen, that it may not be in alignment with what the Christ consciousness or what Christ wants for us. So he was keeping himself unattached to a particular outcome. If someone wants to align with their deeper values, their energy and actions won't support it. So an example, if you're wanting a high-paying job, but you value freedom and creativity, then maybe you've got an inner conflict that is going to make that manifestation of that difficult. So how our values line up to help us get what we want is, first of all, there's clarity in direction. Let me take a step back. One of the things that we define, how we define ourselves and our moral, values is what defines ourselves. Morals are what define our community. So that's the difference if you're looking, because some people get a little confused as to what a moral is versus what values are. So it's essentially is what's good for me, values, versus what's good for the common good, morals. Values keep us aligned with our true self and empowers us to take focused action and attract what harmonizes with a deeper purpose. Our values act like an inner compass. They point us toward what really matters and helps us filter out distractions. When we know and live by our values, they guide our decisions. They shape our behaviors and attract opportunities that aligns with what we truly want in life. It's that inner knowing, that inner longing that we have. So here's a little bit about how it works. Clarity of direction. Values help us distinguish between what is merely appealing in the moment and what is deeply fulfilling. For example, if you value integrity, you'll make choices that align with honesty, even when shortcuts look tempting. Then there's consistency of action. When actions are rooted in values, we act with greater commitment and perseverance. This consistency makes it greater to achieve long-term goals because we're less likely to be swayed by impulses or external pressure. Then there's the alignment with our desire. Our desires, our deepest wants, are often expressions of our values. For instance, if we value connection, you may want meaningful relationships. But if you value growth, you may want learning opportunities. Recognizing this link helps us pursue what is truly what truly satisfies rather than chasing surface level desires. And then the resilience in the challenge. Values give us strength during setbacks. If you value service, for example, obstacles won't stop you from finding the ways to contribute. You'll adapt and find a way that aligns with who you are. Values helps us in attraction of opportunities. Listing of your values often draws people and circumstances into our lives that resonate with the same value. So we end up starting aligning with people and attracting people into our life that actually are resonating at the same frequency, at the same harmony with who we are. And all of a sudden now our community gets bigger, right? Remember this, that when Jesus taught us, know the truth and the truth will set us free, he wasn't just talking about the truth of Christ. He was talking about the truth of who we are, the truth of ourselves. And for each one of us, we all have different values and different experiences that come with that. And we know from other stories in the Bible that talk about the disciples, how they were misaligned with the values of what Jesus was calling for. Remember the story when the two disciples are asking, one could be on the left and one could be on the right? And they were valuing power and they were valuing not just authority but recognition. And Jesus says to them, you don't get it. You're completely missing what it is, what this is all about. And so there was an opportunity for them to take a step back. Now, living in our values here's how I see it. Our values establish our footing. So if we have a very loose footing, everything else that we build from that is going to be subject to movement. I had a friend of mine that used to play golf. We used to play in these scrambles. And in a scramble, you usually get 4 guys together, and you either are getting together because you guys all enjoy one another, and you just go out to have a good time, Or you get together, you put 4 people in your group because you're all pretty good golfers, but each one has a specific area that they're really good at. We had this guy named Dave in our group who could hit the ball a mile, but it was a roll of the dice of whether it was going to be in the fairway or in the trees. Dave was all over the place. And one of the reasons why Dave was all over the place is he refused to wear golf shoes. So you can imagine playing golf on wet grass. Every time he swung, and he's swinging with all this power, you could just watch his feet just go all over the place. And of course, he would spray the ball everywhere. And so we might get 1 or 2 really, really good drives out of Dave. And then the rest of us would try to put it in the fairway where we at least knew we were in good shape and we could recover from that. But there was always that chance that Dave was going to come through with 1 or 2 really good drives that was really going to set us up. And so our understanding what our values are is like the ability of being able to set your feet and set your place, because now you're operating from your truth, right? So if your value is relationships, and versus, so I'll go the example with my father. So my values in life are kindness, empathy, trust. My father's value was money, materialism. My dad was always looking, and I love my dad. I'm not criticizing my dad, but there was a big difference in our values. And my dad was always trying to get me to align with his values. And there were times that I would try, but it was like putting on a suit that didn't fit. It's like, this is not who I am. And so as much as I tried, went into the insurance business and did a couple things in finances, and it was just like, this isn't who I am. And so it wasn't until I really started aligning with my values before I really recognized that the things I started attracting in life were the things that were in alignment with my values. So what it looks like this when you look at the flow of it. So we have values, beliefs, and emotions. And so our values are our inner compass that guide to what truly matters. Those values establish beliefs and a belief system in which it shapes what we think is possible. And then the beliefs create our emotions, fuel our emotions, and our emotions being joy, gratitude, and trust. And so how we build that will determine how successful we will be in manifestation. So here's a quick list of some of the words, some of the values. We're actually going to next week together. We are going to circle up, and we're actually going to go through an exercise in establishing our values. And there's like a list of about 300 and some odd words that actually have to do with our values, right? So you can look at this and go, well, it's really not this, it's this. When you get to that big, long list of things, you start recognizing. And the idea is that we'll filter down to come to understanding what you truly value. Now, maybe you know what you value already, and that's great. I think the opportunity for us to do it together, but also to learn from those that have done it and are standing in those values. Our values help us to hold what is precious to us. They're like an internal reference point for what we value or what we believe is good, right, and important. They are like a compass that can keep us on course. The value cards that I've used in the past can help assist us with individuals and that sort of thing. Aligning our lives to our values can lead to a greater happiness, contentment, and achievement. And I would just say that there have been times in my life, as I said, that I've been in alignment with my values. I've shared with you my mom, and when she was 47 years old, she died of cancer. She had 3 different cancers in her. And it's my belief and my understanding that what fueled all that was the rage, the anger, the bitterness that my mom had toward my dad and the divorce and everything. And I can't help but think that all of that angst and all that inside of her and what it was doing to her systems, right? If my mom could have at least taken a step back and looked at what she truly valued, I believe the outcome would have been different. But she was so entrenched in all of that. And that goes to where we are in terms of clarity. Can we have clarity to understand what is really blocking us and getting in the way? And we'll be talking about that next week and the following week. Because we'll also be I'll be reviewing what we've been learning in the study that we finished up, the book study on homecoming and understanding our inner child. Because there are things that happen in our past that create a belief system and a judgment that keep us from getting to being our best selves. And that's what we'll be looking at. So again, next week we'll be circling up, doing things a little bit different, but we'll be going through that exercise as a collective as it relates to establishing our values. And then the following week will be part 2 of the talk, part 3 of the series as it relates to manifesting what you want. So I thank you guys. As always, stay curious and be the blessing. Michael.
That was just for me. Manifestation, such a wonderful thing. When you experience it, it will make your heart sing. Needs no explanation, results are clearly seen. Cause and effect coming true, real life from a dream. Clear sign of the direction, whole flow of the process of thinking, where it will go. We see that it's coming by wonders and signs, a forthcoming present created in minds. Manifestation, such a wonderful thing. When you experience it, it will make your heart sing. Cause and effect coming true, needs no explanation, for it's me and you. We see it and feel it as it becomes real. It's appearing quite clearly, more to reveal. Manifestation, such a wonderful thing. When you experience it, it will make your heart sing. Needs no explanation, results are clearly seen. Cause and effect coming true, real life from a dream. Manifestation, such a wonderful thing. When you experience it, it will make your heart sing. Needs no explanation, results are clearly seen. Cause and effect coming true, real life from a dream. cause and effect coming to real life from a dream.
Is that a recent one? Is that a new one for you?
No, I wrote that back in 2018 and I saved it for today.
Well, I know that you are a channel of light, and when an idea comes to you, it flows through you as music. And thank you so much. I appreciate everything you have ever shared with us, Michael, because you are so unique. So, and thank you, Chris, too.
Thanks very much. I have for quite a number of years now, when an idea comes, I drop everything and capture what I can of the essence, because ideas, as you all experience, are fleeting. Because somebody says, "Hey, you," and you look at, and you're looking at something else, the thought goes away. So,
Yes.
even when I worked for the state and I was talking to a client on the phone, and somebody said, "Manifestation," I said, "One moment, please."
Those are words of wisdom, right? Those are words of wisdom.
We need to capture the essence of what makes our heart go, "Ooh," like that. We
Yeah,
got to do that.
the essence of who we are, right? And it's a guidance. I just appreciate it so much. Thank you. That is, well, I want to hear you do that woohoo one more time. Maybe we can all do that together. Woohoo! Together, woohoo!
You've got mail.
Oh, it's so fun. All right, so this is the part of our service where we share our gifts with this ministry. So we are going to gather our gifts, and I appreciate all that you want and all that you give and all that you bring into the world, because that is how we manifest. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you. All right, please share with me our love offering blessing together. Divine love, in, through, and as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. Okay, so let's say our peace statement together. Unity stands for peace. Together. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God, for there is only one power and presence of God, and that God loves each one of us equally. Unity urges all nations, their leaders, and their people to pursue peace, not war. For this is what honors the God of all our faith traditions. Okay, some announcements to share.
Yeah.
We want your feedback.
So this is your opportunity to hey Jeff, the music's too loud. No, this is an opportunity to share with me either people have said, come up with good news stories or things that they're struggling with or whatever. This is an opportunity. I'm sorry, I turned it off. broadcasting me singing. This is your opportunity to share things, whatever, that questions, suggestions, complaints, what have you. This is your opportunity to do that. So.
All right, so minister@theunitycenter.org. Today, I will be here after service. This is something that is like a fairly brief orientation to Unity, but it's really more conversation, questions, concerns, ideas. But we cover the basics kind of the foundations of Unity. I'll be in the library, which is just out this exit here and to your left. And it's, about 12:30. If you have time to get a snack if you want to, bring it in there. You're welcome to come. Anybody. Sacred Support Service Circle so this is a second and fourth Sunday. So today, on the first and third, we do Sacred Play. And the second and fourth is a circle time for just being in community. So that starts at 1 o'clock today. And there's some food available if you want to just stay and have a little lunch and join in the circle. And now the fifth Sunday, which is next Sunday, is going to be more of a contemplative service, more of a reflection and renewal. So we'll be doing that next Sunday with Amber. Also next Sunday, I am hosting AVP Circle. This is really a brief introduction to what AVP is, which stands for Alternatives to Violence Project. It is a 50-year-old program that was begun as a prison program, and I actually do it in prisons, but it's also something that's done with youth or in any community setting, and we're just going to have like a brief introduction to AVP just for anybody that's interested in learning more and perhaps taking a full workshop at some point. On the 29th, next Friday, we're having our first Unity Drum Circle, and thank you, Chris, for your imagination and your guidance in this. So just come and join in the circle. I think we have some extra drums and sound making things. Bring a drum if you have one. And then we are also hosting in September the first Men on Pause, a guys' night in. It will be a video conversation. This time they're watching this particular documentary, The Mask You Live In. So all guys are welcome. All right, we're going to do the youth blessing. First, for all the youth, the young people inside of us and all of the youth in our lives together, be the love you are, sing this song you hear, share your joy of life with people far and near. And now for the youth in ourselves, together be the love we are, sing this song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. All right, and we are going to come and form a circle, and we will sing the peace song.
I'm waiting till everybody's holding hands. make your heart sing. Needs no explanation, results are clearly seen. Cause and effect coming true, real life from a dream. Everybody sing. Manifestation, such a wonderful thing. When you experience it, it will make your heart sing. Needs no explanation, results are clearly seen. Cause and effect coming true, real life from one more time. Manifestation, such a wonderful thing. When you experience it, it will make your heart sing. Need no explanation, results are clearly seen. Cause and effect coming true, real life from a dream. Cause and effect coming true, real life from a dream.